one, and I was always superstitious about announcing doing something, because a lot of times it doesn't happen. When it's like talk it away or something, it just, So, but in this case, because of everybody and so many moving parts, I thought, let me just tell Marty, clear it with him if it's okay in interviews and stuff, that I could mention that this is a project that we're doing, we're gonna do it, blah, blah, blah. Then I said, I'm gonna talk to Joe and Al and make sure it's okay with them, and so that when everybody knows that this might happen, so they can speak about it too, whatever. So it was laid out like that, just to have that, and even then, it was just, so that's how carefully I wanted to make sure.
I hear sometimes about movies that I think are slam dunks having trouble getting made, and I just can't, were you, I just sort of want to shout at these executives, like, are you crazy? I know you can't do that, you're professionals, but did it shock you?
We've done that.
We've done that.
There was one executive who I totally respect and wanted to have a meeting with Bob and Marty, and he said, I want to hear their vision.
Get the fuck out.
But the vision, be the Steve Zaillian script. That's the vision. And no, you're not going to put Scorsese and De Niro in a room where you can say no. Are you going to say yes?
Yeah.
So anyway, that meeting never happened.
But I think, to Bob's point earlier, that once Steve was writing and the script was being shaped and schedules did definitely get in the way, but I think that it all came together when it should have.
Yeah.
I think, thank God we didn't do it with Paramount back in the day, I think.
Right.
And I really, Netflix, the greatest partners ever, want to do everything with them always. But they gave us the freedom and the support and really were incredible partners. And I think that the movie ultimately came together at the right time.
So 2 points to that. One, where in 1900 theaters, which in so much of the conversation gets lost, that this movie is not only on Netflix but is in theaters globally, and you can have it both ways.
Yeah.
We're very fortunate to have them as partners, and also their support of so many independent theaters. The other point is that Marty and Bob, and you should talk about this, is that felt that if the movie had been made 10 years earlier, they'd have a different perspective on it. And that, looking at it from their point of view of being in their 70s versus in their 60s would have been a different movie. And so it's one of these things where time was good to us.
I do believe things happen when they should for a reason. I'm sure that it was frustrating trying to get made for 12 years, but I think it did happen at the right time. And now that I can't believe you're in your 70s, you look really good. Doesn't it? I was like, oh, you said that now. I was like, she's been speaking. But what do you think you brought to it now that maybe you wouldn't have 10 years ago?
No, I think if we did it 10 years ago, it would have been fine too, but it's
Yeah.
where it is now, and where it just happened the way it happened, and we're all happy that it was able to be made to happen. So that's it. It's the way it was supposed to be. No matter what, it would have we would have done it, but it was just so many obstacles and things. It turned out the way it turned out.
It is what it is.
But the digital effects, I think.
Yeah.
Did you? It wasn't till Pablo was with you on Silence when he actually came to you and said he had a way to make the de-aging work.
Yeah, he had been tracking the project, and Marty had talked to him. Pablo Hellman, our visual effects supervisor and sort of the brainchild behind the technology. Incredible. We were in Taiwan, and he said to Marty one day, as we're like climbing up another mountain, I think I can work out this technology so we can de-age the actors. And Marty was like, let's get into it when we get home.
I'm curious about that. Did you know that you would always be playing Frank for his entire life, or did you think at some point maybe a younger actor would play you?
Years, you know, in the beginning, we were, maybe 7, 8 years ago, we were talking about other actors who would play us younger. It never got real. We just sort of kicked it around. Yeah, that was.
I'm curious, I don't know if you would be willing to reveal who are some of the young actors you'd let play you.
Oh, I don't know. I think we spoke about Leonardo at one point, maybe others. I don't. It was all very loose.
It was
Very,
Yeah.
it was so loose because also you playing the Frank who you could play without the digital effects, you would have only been in a quarter of the movie. And so what's the point, sort of?
You know who my mind went right to was Sam Rockwell, because he played your son.
Sam, yeah.
Yeah, and I could see that happening. Steve, what about for you when you were writing it? Did you know that the same actors would be playing them?
No. And I did, you know, I mean, I guess I had the luxury of not ever even thinking about that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you know, when you read the book, I don't think you really think about that. When I'm writing the script, I don't think about that. I figure, you know, there's a way. I mean, it's movies. There's a way to do it. So no, when I was writing, it was really just, you know, trying to figure out the story and the characters. And
It's such a dense story and such an amazing book. I'm only halfway through it now, but I'm reading it. Was there anything you really wanted to include in the screenplay, but you just couldn't for time?
No. I think everything's there that I could think of. Yeah, no. I mean, I'm just struck, like, kind of running through the book in my mind as you asked that question, and I really can't think of anything. I mean, there was a time, and Jane and Bob and Emma will remember this, that the first draft of the script had a rather long section during the war, and I even as I was writing it, I thought, I'm not sure this is really going to work or is necessary. And then in one of the subsequent revisions, talking to Bob and Marty, we kicked around the idea, maybe there's a way of doing this in a scene where he's talking about his experiences in the war that would actually be better than, a cast of thousands and, a war movie. And I think that was the right choice.
Did you